Welcome back to Community Talks, everyone. I'm Ryan Beechu alongside Akash Samaru. We're talking business in the Southlands, and just before we headed to break, that is, Mr. Kiran Singh, you were making a point. He's the president of the Greater San Fernando Chamber. You wanted to say something.
Yes, Ryan. Thanks for the opportunity. What we're saying is, to bring back to the point about business, one of the reasons we formed this Greater San Fernando Chamber of Commerce was to bring business back to San Fernando. That's our team, our tagline. And in that regard, what we did for Mother's Day this year was in fact had a promotion, which we advertised through social media networks and so on, to inform customers that San Fernando is alive, we're ripe for business, that customers could come get some good deals. On High Street, members offered varying amounts of discounts. The restaurants gave like a free dinner for a couple when they participated at a certain store. To show that San Fernando can compete with the other mega malls, with the other growing pockets of commercial activity within the country, to highlight that San Fernando still exists, and we need to focus attention on San Fernando, and the business sector is strong. We're here to stay, and we're here to give back to the community too, because we also had, for instance, a regatta last weekend at which you all covered, where we encourage the youths to come out and do something for themselves, to show discipline, culture, to reinvigorate the youths, the positive energy that is needed.
Mr. Singh, do you think with the emergence of C3 Centre and SouthPark on the outskirts of San Fernando, that is what sort of alluded to what Daphne is saying about maybe the challenges that the inner city now faces?
Well, in business, we always say competition is healthy, competition is good. I think it would complement the options that people have to come in the southern area to shop. Because what happens is that people have started gravitating towards Port of Spain, Chaguanas, your favorite town, Princestown. But with the advent of C3 and SouthPark, we find that we have started to create that pull factor where people are coming back to South and realizing that we're number one for hospitality, and we're number one for shopping.
I want to tell you that the owner of C3 Mall is a member of our association. So when we meet and we discuss figures, we can actually know what's happening.
You're also a member of your association as well.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So what do you think is saying?
I can't talk people business, but generally there's a drop, a huge percent drop. Now C3 Mall provides a big entertainment area with the cinema and so on. So you have the young crowd going there, and it's always busy there. The sales in the supermarket definitely went down. Well, it has to go down because you have less purchasing power.
We normally see that people's entertainment
always
costs.
Busy.
Yeah, it doesn't really, no matter what you get, it doesn't really affect your entertainment budget for some reason. We find the money to like.
So they're always busy, but the other part, the other stores, I mean, they're managing.
I want to take the discussion because, I mean, if business is improving in the C3, in the malls that you all are saying, it would have been creating employment as well. I want to talk about unemployment because we really can't lean over the fact of how important Petrotrin was to South Trinidad. Even if it's on the outskirts of San Fernando, it was still very important to the southern areas of Trinidad and Tobago. And when Petrotrin, when they closed the refinery, it was said that it will decimate that part of the country. Have we seen that? Has it really decimated that part of the country?
Right,
I mean, decimated.
Foreign.
I don't know. I disagree. I think where I'm seeing, I think maybe the Marbella area severely affected, being honest with you, but a lot of them have become entrepreneurs and are going on their own and doing extremely well, and they will have a lump sum of money that they can invest. So I think they're doing reasonably well.
But for re-employment, Mr. Rahman, during the break you were talking about a stigma attached to former Petrotrin workers. Tell me about that.
Well, basically, since the closure, you've had people going to get jobs
in other sectors.
And they've basically been branded that they're a Petrotrin employee, and they have no desire to employ them.
But why?
Because of the fact that, first of all, the hiring of Petrotrin staff wasn't always above board. There was nepotism, husbands and wives were employed in the company. You had a certain level of inflated salary, which did well for sending their children to school, buying nice cars, having a nice house. But as soon as that deflated, as the pin hit the balloon, that whole sector just squashed.
And in that case, the money they got from the settlement, the lump sum, it eventually dries up, right?
No, and they also have the mortgages to take care of, school children, their education abroad. You know, they just don't have that spending power.
If you're saying this, the restaurants are all in San Fernando, they're all full. You have to make booking. The entertainment is top of the line. You can't, all the next spots are full.
I don't agree with the restaurants being full though.
Well, which restaurant are you talking about?
Bookings.
Tell us.
No.
Which restaurant are you talking about?
No, I've never made a booking at a restaurant in San Fernando, and I lime a lot. And also my finger is on the pulse of the social media in South. I've never made a reservation in
Mr. Mayor,
South. There's a lot of linemen.
I'm referring to Cree restaurant and the new one that just Sung's Great Wall, and they're doing extremely well.
But one restaurant is not all.
Mr. Mayor, with all due respect, I mean, it's not just Marabella people that worked in Petrotrin. People from all over the South.
Speaking about the business side.
And I get that, but inevitably, because so many people come from so far away to work at Petrotrin, the impact was far-reaching,
Yep.
and there was a great impact.
Yep.
So, what now is the city doing or has been doing to sort of get those workers and get those families back on their feet?
Well, the two things we already established here is that a lot of them are going to private business and become entrepreneurs. That's one side of it. And we are banking on the Skinner Park redevelopment project starts in 2 weeks' time. We started a database and people becoming registered, so employment will start there. The construction company York is moving in as we speak, handing over Skinner Park. That is one. Of course, we're looking forward to the waterfront development. It starts in 1 month's time.
Well, WPCI, I mean, you walk the streets of San Fernando. What are you seeing? Full stores, empty stores, half fill, depends on how you look at it.
Well, from my point of view, as I said, C3 is bustling. Actually, to me, this is my opinion on the opening of C3, it took a lot of business away from Gulfview. Gulf City Mall, to be exact. But besides that, being a community officer, I'm also a leader of a police youth club. And I have parents in my club who would have been affected by the closure of Petrotrin. And as goodly gentleman on my side here, Darren, sorry about it, Darren said, when they went to seek employment elsewhere, there was one person in particular who came back, tears in the eyes, and said that they were told that we can't employ you because Petrotrin workers are known to be lazy, which is a bit sad. You can't judge everyone across the board. And there are some of them who are struggling. There are some of them who went into business and, they're finding their way back. And but with regards to the actual, well, I don't really go shopping on High Street, personally. But from what I observe while I'm out on patrol, you will see people, but when you look into some of the stores, some of them are quite filled, and then there are those who
What's
you
the
see.
problem with High Street? Why don't you like to shop on High Street no matter park? What's the problem there?
It's just a choice.
It's a choice, rather.
It's my
Parking
choice.
is also an issue as well.
Yeah.
Parking and crime.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with parking because whenever I go to San Fernando to park my personal vehicle, I get parked at the Empire Cinema car park, right?
But you'll mention parking being a general problem.
But generally, yes, because
I can tell you if I can't find a place to park, I'm not going.
Exactly.
Akash,
And then too, you have the wrecker service that is quite busy.
Like sharks, right?
And crime. I'm
crime.
not going to walk up and down High Street because I'm scared somebody's going to grab my purse.
Well, that's what I kind of want to ask the WPC. Kieran,
Yes.
please go ahead.
Sorry. With respect to the parking, before we move to your issue, I just want to address the issue about the parking. Recently, the mayor and the city corporation removed or relocated the taxi stands of Port of Spain, Curep, and Chagonas to the wharf. When we say the wharf, people immediately think the seafront. There's not exactly the seafront, but it's somewhat inside, and it's near the Maxi Taxi, which is creating a somewhat central transport hub. So that has opened up some more open space on High Street in particular.
But you can't park on High Street, you're wrecked.
What happened recently is that families over the weekend, because school is opening on Monday, they were able to pull up on the right-hand side to run in, get their, a few last minute items, jump back in their cars and go, because the taxi stands now freed up that area. And the police will not reckon them.
So they could park there, or that was just a blight for that day, or just a ease up for that day?
There is an ongoing consultation, but as we speak, like I will say, two-thirds of high streets now, the right hand side is available for parking for the public.
You know, I would like to say that in the same mall that I'm in, there's a food court upstairs. And when I was coming to work a few days ago, they stopped me and they told me, you know, I was wrecked on Sunday. When I came to clean up and do what I said,
on a Sunday, the records
let me just intervene. Our records do not work on Sunday.
No.
So I don't know which records
they were wrecked. They were wrecked,
well,
and they told me that.
The police is here and I am here. There are no record on Sunday.
And I said I had to bring that up, because how can they wreck you on a Sunday?
You still have the receipt that you get?
I can get that because it's
possible.
I am not aware of the service operating on a Sunday.
Most of what I'm hearing from the staff,
I hope they were not robbed.
The staff is very inconsistent.
It's the normal white record that comes, and I'm saying, how could you be
on a Sunday?
What you're seeing here for the day, because that is not true. There's no record in San Fernando.
And why is the record working on a Saturday now? Because they're not supposed to wreck on a Saturday.
Is that true? Is that the rule that you all said? No.
They work half day on a Saturday.
And here, 8 o'clock, they're out for you, you know. 8 o'clock while you get driving up High Street,
we have indisciplined. Because we have indisciplined people.
But Mr. Mayor, you also have a congested city.
Yeah.
You have a small city and a lot of people to fit into that city.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make parking any easier.
Pardon me?
That doesn't make parking any easier.
No, we don't. Listen, you have to understand. Harriet, they want to park in front of the store. And it's congested because you have goods offloading, vehicles offloading goods. You have the taxi stand, you have the main thoroughfare. So it's impossible. This is why we went about a whole traffic plan to remove the taxi to create more space. And this is an ongoing project. We will look at the Saturday morning, because we want to encourage shopping on a Saturday on High Street. So we're going to look at the Saturday wrecking.
Things that occur on High Street, the business owners, they pay tax, they pay everything on High Street. You're not even allowed to park your car for 2 minutes and go and open and get back and park in the car park. You're wrecked, or you're given a ticket. That's one. But then again, if you come and you have 2 stores and you're unloading goods, they do not allow you to unload the goods. You have to make
that is not true.
You have a difference of experiences here, because on this side they're saying that's
years of experience of being on High Street.
Right.
And not only me, other people, and they complain about this wrecking a lot. We have no public car park in the city.
What's going on with public parking?
Let me just clear this up.
Sure.
The PNM administration and Ms. Patrick Manning had built a car park on Chancery Lane.
That's not a public car park.
Let me finish, please. On Chancery Lane. That car park would have facilitated 1,400 parking lots. And prior to that, we had our own car park on Chancery Lane. That space was used for a public car park that was built with 3 or 4 floors. The last administration, the partnership didn't understand that and convert that car park into a teaching hospital. We have to understand that Harris Promenade has 3 churches, 3 schools, a Supreme Court, a magistrate court, a police station, the hospital, teaching hospital, the city hall, and several offices for lawyers and other persons. That by itself is a nightmare. We have to be very creative, and we have been working on those issues. And next door to Harris Promenade is High Street. So we are condensed in a very small area, a very small pocket where there's so much activity.
What's one of the solutions you're looking at there?
Well, there's several car parks in and around San Fernando. The officer spoke about one next to the Empire Cinema. There's a public car park on the bottom of Penitent Street. And it's a car park. It is a car park. So there is parking space. We have made several streets that were one-way into 2-way streets, and we are working on making additional, by removing the Curragh taxi stand, the Police Plain taxi stand, and the Shogun's taxi stand. There is space for almost the half a length of High Street. And it's a work in progress, and we continue to do so.
So would we be allowed to park in those spaces?
And they have been parking there for the past couple of days. You're not aware what's happening on High Street, Ms. Bartlett?
All right, so parking is always
Now, one of the things we did to solve the problem with parking,
very quickly,
with the previous mayors, is that about 3 of them, 3 successive ones prior to this gentleman, we said we have no public car park, so we should not have inner city wrecking, and they all granted that. So they never wrecked inner city But in
I'm not
recent
aware of that.
years,
I'm not aware of that. That's not true.
And creating a lot of problems.
That is not true.
All right, we need to go to a break. Daniel, parking again is a very hot button issue.
Yes.
Where did you all park by chance? When you all?
I hope it's in our car park. Otherwise,
Yeah,
you'll get
because
wrecked
you
here.
will get
And you wreck. You have 4 records working in Port of Spain.
No,
Yes, and you wreck on weekends.
I was just
You wreck on Saturday and Sunday. I mean, hope
I
it's
don't know
back to
about
understand
Sunday,
that.
but I know Saturday you might want
And
to just be a bit-
Sunday.
All right.
And San Fernando, are we very lenient in San Fernando?
When we come back, another hot button issue. We're going to talk about crime. So
Yeah.
stay with us. Community Talk, San Fernando.